Hey there, friends at home. I'm super excited today to talk to you about, culantro. Culantro is an herb that's really popular in Caribbean and Puerto Rican food, and is a main ingredient in sofrito, which is pretty much a seasoning base for almost is this is just what I understand from the person who introduced me to culantro, who herself was from Puerto Rico, true Boricua. And anyway, she introduced me to sofrito, and I absolutely love it. I had never heard of or tried culantro before, but I was definitely sold. Now you can buy culantro at various Asian shops here in Tucson, but I really like a challenge, and I heard these were kind of hard to grow. And right now, my seed germination station is pretty empty. Everything's outside and in the ground. So I just thought I would get it going. So one of the important things from what I understand about culantro that I did faithfully was it's on a heat mat. The heat mat is set, it says 84 degrees right now, but it's actually set at 82, so it heats up and then to above the target temperature, and yeah, anyway, it clicks off and on. So I keep the probe in the culantro. I didn't want it in the this taller, deeper cup that has my rainbow eucalyptus trees in it, because I didn't want to accidentally overheat these little guys. So anyway, I gotta stop saying sorry about that, guys. Anyway, the seeds that I initially how many times can you say the word in a video? Anyway, I surface sowed these. From what I read, they have to be on the surface of the soil. They need light to germinate. So I poured them into, they're really tiny. I poured them into a little paper Dixie cup looking thing, kind of like they give you at the dentist. And then that way I could pour any extra seeds or what looked like extra to me back into the original package, which I did. Now, I originally had a really good germination rate in here, but I wasn't watering them properly, and I lost a lot of them at about this stage right here. The soil's pretty wet right now because I literally just gave them water for the morning. But the heat mat will help this to evaporate quickly through the day. So I want to make sure that they stay moist. We have had relatively good humidity here, like at least 40-50%. And that's really high for Tucson, Arizona. And it's because we've had a really killer, awesome monsoon. We got over 7 inches of rainfall in the month of July, reportedly like the most. It's a record rainfall year, so that's really exciting after last year. But anyway, now that the monsoons have backed off for a little while, the air's a little drier, so I wanted to make sure these have a good amount of water in them for the day. Once I started deeply misting the seedlings twice a day and making sure that they were staying damp, not only did these immediately start doing better, but I started getting germination on seeds that were still in the soil. From what I understand, culantro can take up to 30 days to germinate, so probably the seeds that are going to germinate have germinated, but there could be some stragglers like these little guys that popped up after I fixed the watering issue. Now, I have made a couple of pretty big mistakes here. And that is that, one, I used this humidity dome, the cover for this takeout container. That was not entirely a mistake, but what was a mistake was leaving it on too long. So it was on top of this container, and when I started getting these, I was getting ready to take it off for good. These were all getting their true leaves, and I was going to pop the lid off, but then I got some additional seeds popping up in here, sprouting, so I wanted to leave the dome on a little longer. Well, all was fine until I guess it's been almost a week now. I came in here and I lifted the lid to give these guys water, and the smell that came out of this container is going to haunt me for years to come. It was awful. It was, I think the best way to describe it is strong overtones of cattle feedlot with a double dose of halitosis and a finish of rotting fish. So it was so bad. I literally wanted to take this and huck this whole container out the front door of my house. I told my husband that it better stop stinking soon or this whole project was off. Luckily, after about 8 hours, that hideous smell went away. But let me tell you, this room was awful. I had to turn this air cleaner on by the door to to help keep the smell out of the rest of the house. It was, it smelled like we were hiding a dairy in our bedroom. Anyway, so don't do that. And also, the container itself is really shallow. And now I have to transplant these, and I understand that, or at least I'm given to understand that that's a bad idea with culantro, or sometimes it's called shadow bunny or raquel. Maybe longleaf coriander and sawtooth herb. There's a bunch of different names for it, lots and lots. But it should have been in a deeper container, and it did get a little anaerobic in there, and it got that funk. Don't do that. I feel pretty lucky that they survived my amateur bumbling, But there they are, and hopefully I'll get to eat them soon. And I will try to give you guys continuous updates on this project. I am going to have a family member tend to my plants for a few days here coming up soon, and I'm a little scared that a lot of stuff is going to die, and this could be it. So if by chance this beautiful tray of delicious little culantro plants doesn't make it, I will restart some from the seeds I still have, and I'll take you on that journey. I really should have filmed it all from start to finish, but I never intended on making videos and posting anything on YouTube. And some of the video content that I've already uploaded is using video clips that I never intended to post anywhere. I would just take like a video and send it to my husband, or just to look at later for myself. A lot of them didn't even have sound, so I've had to kind of splice them with other videos that later did have some sound. But anyway, that's my culantro on my beautiful heat mat set at 82 degrees, misted or watered well twice a day, and loved all day, every day, in hopes that it grows me beautiful, delicious sofrito fixings. Thanks again for watching, and I hope to see you back here soon, and I will post an update just as soon as I can. Bye now.